Documents are one thing, but in reality it's never quite what you expect. So begin the installation with a visual inspection of the proposed installation area. Have a good look around. Having gained access to the work area, prepare a protected work surface ready to protect the equipment you will have to modify or adjust before you install it. Dump all your installation gear and carry in the star of the show, the Minilink radio unit and antenna. You will need to mechanically adjust these. Check the site installation documents drawn up by the engineering department. This you should inspect and compare with reality. Familiarise yourself with the proposed installation area, the mast, the cable routes. You are well advised to take a close look at the installation area and consider access restrictions and even other equipment installed in the same place. Look at the direction the link is designed to be pointed and use your compass to take a rough bearing on the far end site. At this stage, you do not need to be so accurate, but just verify that the engineering information is practical. Remember, of course, that metal structures can affect the compass reading, but common sense will tell you if the reading is reasonable or not. If in doubt, take another reading well away from ferrous metal structures. The preparation phase could start here at the radio tower. The engineering department will have given you the correct cable lengths and document all other necessary information that is required. But you will, however, have to go through the site to check the best position for all the equipment. Consider, for example, easy access for future maintenance work. We have been given the compass heading in the site installation documents, so if we now take a very rough bearing, we can see that the proposed antenna direction, in our case, we need to do some modifications to the mechanical radio and antenna unit positioning. So check the planned cable route, and if you are to climb, you will need to place a rope with a pulley with care. In our installation, we do not need to attach a rope, but if you do need more information about climbing, rigging, then click the links in the menu button. Before beginning the installation, check the polarization. This information is to be found in the site installation documents. Ours needs to be horizontal, but the factory default for the compact is vertical. At this stage, I've got to point out that the mechanical unit assembly and modification must be done on the ground. When you're working at height, you are limited as to what you are able to do when you're clinging tightly to a mast or a tower. Also, use a bit of packing material to protect the equipment from an abrasive surface. To change the polarization, let's look at the antenna. Here we have a V which marks vertical polarization. So to prepare the compact antenna for horizontal polarization, we'll undo these 4 screws. Now we will rotate the plate 90 degrees counterclockwise and then fasten the screws. lift and rotate that way. Tighten up the screws. The plate's been changed, so now undo the 2 screws holding the polarization plate to the feeder. We can now push the polarization plate 45 degrees clockwise and then fasten the screws. Remove the waveguide protection tape from the antenna and the protective cover from the radio unit. Now we position the radio unit in the corresponding holes at the bottom of the antenna. And we also lift the unit over these catches in the antenna. Like so. And we can fasten the antenna with these screws. Next we fit the screw and washer provided with the antenna in the upper hole on the side of the antenna. At this stage you would prepare the unit for lifting up to the tower, but we don't need to raise ours. You can find more information about this in our other MBL courses. Just follow the links from the main menu. The antenna support bracket may need adjusting if it is needed on the other side of the antenna. Before fitting the antenna support, familiarise yourself with the antenna and the alignment parts. Well, I'm fitting this bracket to the southern tower leg. So I know that I need to reverse this support and put it here. It's done like this. Begin by removing the horizontal or azimuth adjustment bolt from the antenna support. Now I'll fit the bolt on the opposite side of the support. So we tighten the nuts and we make sure that the washers are positioned correctly. Now these washers have got a coarse side and a sawtooth pattern. Now these should be aligned and facing each other. The coarse, the sawtooth, and the sawtooth goes against each other, so that the crack is filled like this. Now undo the screws and turn the clamp around, and this is for the vertical alignment. Remove this clamp. There are many different installation alternatives for this bracket. It depends on what type of tower or pole that you have. You can find more information about this in the relevant installation manuals. So once you've determined the orientation, you can prepare the bracket for lifting. If you leave the clamps open, it will make the work easier for you when you're up on the tower. So now we're ready for the installation phase.